welcome into week 10, the halfway point here in the series. Renamed the Southern Speed Shop Cup Series, formerly known as the Hardy Cup. We are here at Charlotte today as practice just got done as we head into qualifying here. Thanks for joining us this evening. Like I said, today marks the halfway point, and let me tell you, it's anybody's ball game at this point. Anywhere from first to sixth can win the championship at any given moment. But Charlotte is one of those tracks that will test each driver and the car. This may look like an easy track, but I assure you it is not a very forgiving track. It's a very tight track, high banked, high speeds, known for its exciting racing. So we'll see what these drivers have in store for us. It looks like we got a very big field for the series finally. Looks like we're going to have 12 to 13 cars out here today, which by far is one of our biggest since early on in preseason where we recruited people. So cool to see that many guys out here taking the time out of their busy week to go ahead and do this. We'll see where James Jones in that beautiful Chevrolet takes place in qualifying here. See where he slots in as Dustin Hardy goes up to the board. Top of the board, P1 right now. As we got the 60 of Ryan Holler on track right now. Let's see where he slots in. He is going to, Alex in the 72 takes the top position right now as Ryan Holler gets his lap started here in qualifying. Frank Skimmerhorn P6 at the moment. And I believe one of our new entries in here, in the 27, making their debut. See where the 27 slots in. And last week's winner, Wyatt, P3 right now. As Frank Skimmerhorn goes to 6th, Jeremy goes down to 7th in the 75 car. Ryan Holler goes to P3. As we are halfway through our qualifying order. And Fowler, welcome back to Fowler. Haven't seen him in quite some time, so good to see him back here in the series. Let's see what he can do. As he gets the green flag on qualifying. And the 52 car, throwing it back to either Gordon or Byron with that beautiful looking paint scheme. See where Brantley slots in this evening for qualifying. As the 27 goes up to 4th, dropping Wyatt down to 6th. James Jones slots in 6th right now, dropping Herrick to 7th, Frank Skimmerhorn to 8th, and the 75 Jerome goes to 9th. See where the 52 to the top of the board. Wow, that is a quick time. Barely edges out Alex for that P1 spot right now. See where the number 49 Chevrolet slots in right now. Currently P8 on the timing sheet. Let's see where Fowler slots in as he completes his run. 8th. So Jared, on his return back to the series, goes to P8. And looks like that is going to do it for qualifying right now. So your starting lineup for today's festivities are as follows. The P1 goes to Brantley in that 52 car. Alex in that 72 Mustang takes the outside of row 1, followed by Dustin Hardy on the inside of row 2. Ryan Holler goes 4th on the outside row. On the inside is a 27 of Dylan. All to his outside is Wyatt. Wyatt's going to be a tough one today. That's my pick. We're going to go this seventh is James Jones. On the outside of him is Jared Fowler making his return back, followed by Jeffrey Herrick, Frank Skimmerhorn, Jerome, Waylon, and Brock. Those are your 13 drivers. As we see the cars gridded up here, Hardy debuting a new paint scheme this week. As Fowler throws it back to the RFK BuildSubmarine.com's paint schemes that they have run quite a bit the past year or two. As we're just waiting for a few more drivers to take the grid, and we will roll out here and begin our pace laps. My name is Justin. Welcome into the broadcast. We will see a very fast racing this afternoon. A little bit of carnage, but a lot of entertainment. So if you like entertainment, this is the series for you to watch. We can do this every Tuesday. Broadcast right here on my YouTube channel, and looking forward to seeing what the halfway point of the season holds. It looks like we're still just waiting for a couple of drivers to take the grid before we roll out here. While that happens, we're going to say hello to our sponsors. HMS, Gas and Propane. Sam Hardy, if you need any of those, give her a call or email her. All the guys over at Outcast Motorsports. A lot of these drivers are part of that team. Good group of guys. If you need a good group of guys to hang out with, go ahead and hit them up on their Discord. They'll be happy to hear from you. And Hardy Setup Shop. If you need competitive, fast, and well-balanced setups for your sim racing experience, go head over to Dustin Hardy and give him a shout, and he will hook you up with one of his setups. And of course, if it wasn't for iRacing, none of this would be possible. So thank you to our folks and friends over at iRacing for making this happen. As well as myself and Wilkes Productions, thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. We'll see what these drivers have after 200 laps here at the famous Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now, there's a story behind the 72 paint scheme of Cheesecake. Pretty funny. Now, I want to get into it, but it's pretty funny. So, he thought it would be funny, and the guys were like, hey, bring it out. So he's rocking the Cheesecake paint scheme and not Hello Kitty on the hood of that Mustang today. So that's a little change up for the 72 car, as it looks like lights are going to be out on the Ford Mustang pace car as we're going to get ready to go green with 11 drivers taking the green flag. Green flag is in the air. Slow rolling start. 52 edges out ever so slightly. As we got a battle heating up for that second spot. No, Alex cuts him off. Here we go. Lap 1 is green. As the top 3 have put a couple car lengths on the 27 car. As Hardy looks underneath early on, 3 different lines going through 3 and 4. As is the whole field single file, 1st through 10th. So we got a battle for the second. Dustin looking strong on the inside in that 17 Toyota. Alex on the outside has the momentum. Drag race down the backstretch into turn 3. Dustin's going to drop it low to the double yellow line. Get us a good run. He's gonna have the momentum. No, Alex comes back on the outside. Dead even at the line for second. That is bringing Dylan into the fight here in the 27 car. Don't look now, but Ryan Holler is coming on strong now. Same with Brantley, as it looks like we might have had 3 wide for a moment before the 27 decided better of it, as he's going to follow his Ford Mustang teammate. Nope. He's going to try to pass the 72 car of Alex. As that battle for second still rages on, not really allowing the leader to get away. Couple car lengths. As this battle for second has brought in 3 more drivers lap after lap early on. These 2 lanes seem to be pretty even as Hardy decides to do the changeup and go to the outside. Alex will take the inside, see what type of run those drivers can get as Hardy falls under attack. As we saw slight contact back there in the back of the field here, Dylan is looking underneath. Dustin Hardy, that 17, starting to fall back ever so slightly. Might have burned his tires up on the inside. Now he falls back. Drops 2 spots within a lap and a half. As we have Ryan and Wyatt, say that 10 times fast, battling for the position here. Further back, we have Fowler returning, battling James Jones for that position, for the 7th position, as the field is starting to check out from these 2 drivers. Side by side, they go down the backstretch. Give it to Fowler on that high line. Herrick in the 9th position, just right in there, taking his time as we see Frank Skimmerhorn in our top 10. Good to see him in the top 10. He had a good run last week. And welcome to the series, the 75 car. Beautiful looking Ford Mustang. Not too far off the back bumper of our 10th place guy of Frank Skimmerhorn. As I want to point out, Jeffrey Herrick decided to park the Toyota this week and bring out the Chevrolet. Interesting choice for him this week. As this battle between Jones and Fowler is still going lap after lap. As the battle for 5th is heating up between Wyatt and Hardy. Hardy's car has fallen off a little bit since the drop of the green flag, as he's right on the back bumper of the 60 car. As we got a battle for our race lead, Alex says, I want it. Can he take it away from Brantley? Looking strong early on. This is the most pressure that 52 car has been under all afternoon. 10 laps in, still side by side for this race lead. Where does Alex go? He goes low. 52 is going to high ride that line. Gets that momentum off of the high side of turn 4. Going to clear him at the start finish line. Brantley not wanting to give away that clean air. That is the place you want to be, is in clean air on the front of the field. That dirty air will make your front end slide. You want to preserve the tires here. As the 72 decides, I need to let my tires cool off. As he's going to try to take a look on that high side. Can't make it sticks. Single file through the top 6. Alex just searching, trying to find where Brantley is not. Trying to get that fresh air on that Mustang so he can get the drive off of the corners that he needs. Just can't quite do it this time by. As the 27 up to 3rd. Don't look now, but Hardy is under attack for that 5th spot. Wyatt wants it. What can he do through 1 and 2 here at the high banks of Charlotte? Gets a good run. Got to stay on that quarter panel to pull him back. We're going to drop it low as Hardy is going to diamond the exit off of 4 and get a good run off of 4 to keep that 5th position. As a, I'm sorry, I did not see, but it looks like Jared Fowler did go a lap down. Looks like he may have had damage and went to the pit road to fix that. Unfortunate for him in his return. Single file through the 6th position. Follow back James Jones in his own zip code, as well as Jeffrey Herrig just out there putting through the laps. And the 75 got around Frank Skimmerhorn, as these drivers are just running around right now. 52 looking to break that draft. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Alex switches and goes middle of the track this time by trying to do a slight diamond to get a good run. As the race lead for first happens, the battle for 5th still rages on between Dustin and Wyatt. As Dustin now has found something in that 17 car, looking underneath Ryan Holler. Holler falling back into the clutches of the 61 of Wyatt now. Don't know what has happened to that Mustang. Maybe he just thinks it's better to ride at this point. But Hardy has found pace back in that 17 car. As the battle for the 6th position. Nope, give it to the 61 for 5th. Good battle between these 3 drivers. As this battle for the race lead is going to be a 3-car battle here very shortly, as a 27 has found pace and he is slowly reeling in our race leaders. Top 3 have kind of pulled away almost a second and a half from our 4th place driver of Hardy. Interesting this early on, seeing the field this spread out. As the 72 looking strong off of turn 2. He's going to drive it in deep into turn 3, trying to take our race lead over. Give it new race lead off of turn 4. Alex takes that race lead over where he's been quite some time this season out front. Let's see if he can start to pull away, or if the 52 now behind Dirty Eric, see what he can do. This is the first time Brantley has been behind another car all afternoon. Bumper to bumper going into turn 3. Brantley takes the high side. Alex will give it to him. Alex likes that middle entry off. Good run for the 72 car. He's going to keep the race lead. As the 52's pulling a Ross Chastain through 1 and 2. Makes it work. Doesn't lose much time. The 27 car is loving these 2 race leaders battling it. It's bringing him into the fight. And don't look now, but Hardy and the 61 of Wyatt Mitchell have definitely found pace, and they are slowly starting to reel in our top 3. Battle for the race lead. The 52 drives it deep. Can he make it stick? No, the 72 holds on. The battle for the race lead is heating up between the top 3. As we got a battle for the 4th position between the 61 and the 17. These 2 have been glued to each other all race long. Wherever Hardy goes, the 61 goes, and vice versa. These 2 putting on a heck of a show as Brantley gets around Alex to retake our race lead, as this battle for 4th rages on through the dogleg. Give it to the 61 momentarily. Side by side through 1 and 2 down the back stretch. Give it to the 61 from the high side. Don't look now, but Alex gets back around the 52, and that brings Dylan into this phrase. The top three are underneath a blanket. Couple car lengths separating the top three. So we got battles all over the top 10. As the 27 has found something, he's just kind of been lurking there, watching these two race leaders use up their tires, just riding around. Looking underneath the 52 of Brantley, can't make it stick. As we see some right front damage on the 52 car from getting up into the wall. That's where he likes to run, but the sparks are flying as he's rim riding 1 and 2. Breaking the draft from the 27 car. We have about 2 to 3 car lengths separating first and second and third. This is what Alex wants to see. He wants to see these two get racing because he can pull away. As Brantley is just throwing sparks from that Chevrolet. Each time through 1 and 2, he really likes that high line. I call that the Kyle Larson line, right there up by the wall, an inch away from it. As you see Frank Skimmerhorn approaching our race leaders, let's see how they navigate our lap traffic. As the 27 is going to look to the outside, nope, thinks better of it. It crosses over and goes under the low lane, right down to that blue line. As side by side off of turn 2, where race leader is going to go underneath Frank Skimmerhorn. Now where does the 52 goes low? Frank lets him have the inside. Good heads up driving for our top 2 as the battle for second is raging on, allowing Alex to pull away over a half a second between first and second now. As the 27 has gotten around what was our race leader at one point, the 52 has started to fall back 27 laps into this run. As he says, nope, I'm going to make this high line work. If these two continue to battle like this, Alex is going to pull away. This is the biggest race lead that anyone's had in quite some time. Almost a second from first and second. Alex likes this. He says, keep racing, boys. As they're racing hard side by side for that second spot. That did allow our third place driver to close in on this battle. Oh, I'm sorry. Our fourth place driver, ever so slightly, as he and the 61 are still pretty much glued together. I have noticed a lot of these drivers are searching this early on into the run, so I don't wonder if the tires are starting to fall off ever so slightly, and these drivers are starting to search from grip. One lap they'll be high side, the next they'll be the low side. So we'll have to see. Tire wear here is a factor. Even though this track was not really old and was repaved a few years back, it definitely wears tires. As this is the battle right now for this fourth position. As a 60 all by himself, just riding around. Just waiting to get 4 fresh tires on that Mustang. And James Jones looking strong in that 76 car all by himself. Almost 3 seconds off the back bumper of our 6th place driver. He's looking to mix it up with pit stop cycles here coming up shortly. And the 75 car just putting in laps right now. Looking strong. That Mustang is still looking clean. And in 9th, there's Jeffrey Herrick. And as Alex is pulled right around a second on our second place driver. Now is the point in the race where these drivers are just going to put in some laps, waiting for the tires and fuel to run out so they can go grab more fuel and tires and continue on. And if the trend that has happened all season happens, we should get to about the halfway point um, before we start to see any type of chaos happen. So it's clean and green right now, as I'm going to let it go. And you can just sit back and enjoy the sound of these race cars going by. Well, we have a moment. We're going to thank our sponsors one more time. Hardy Cup Series. Thank you, Dustin Hardy, for creating setups that a lot of us use and have proven to be contenders with. So if you need any setup, go get him one of your setups. And Mrs. Sam Hardy over there at HMS, sales and services of your natural gas and propane accessories. Go give her a call or email her for any and all of your needs. Once again, all the amazing gentlemen that make Outcast Motorsports what it is today. Huge shout out to all that they do for iRacing and developing drivers. And once again, all the folks over at iRacing.com want to throw out there that the holiday bundles are going on. 50% off for a 2-year subscription, not a bad deal. Or 25% off for new subscribers for the iRacing program. So if you or anybody you know that looking to get into sim racing, now is the time. Go buy it for them or give them your referral link so you can get money on your account that can be used to buy cars, tracks, you name it. So head over to iRacing.com. As we are still green, as we are completing lap 39, the field pretty spread out so far in the race. As the race lead, as we see Frank Skimmerhorn hitting the pit lane. The race lead is kind of stable right around that second mark. As we got the battle for this third spot, give it to Wyatt. Wyatt just drove around him. At 61 has found pace this late into the run, so watch out for him. He's a long run car, has shown time and time again that he likes these long runs. As the 52 is just holding on, waiting to hit pit road to get new tires on that car, I'm sure. As well as Dustin Hardy sitting there in fifth. All these drivers just biding their time, waiting for pit road to start opening up. Who's going to be the first one to dive onto pit road? We will find out. Does look like Alex is a little slower than Dylan in 1 and 2, but very strong in 3 and 4. Dylan closes about 2.5 tenths on our race leader off of 2. But Alex is starting to pull it back out as they approach turn 3, where he is stronger on this end. Runs just a lane higher than the 27 car, so allows him to get a good run off the exit as he bounces it off the wall ever so slightly. As it looks like Jared Fowler has called it a day, unfortunately for him. Not the day he wanted on his return. Don't look now. Wyatt is coming. He set sail from the 52. He just went around him and said, "See you next week." As Hardy's looking to hunt down the 52 car, see if he can improve his track position before those round of pit stops. As we have a battle right here for the 6th position, Jones has caught that 60 car, looking strong late in this run. Down the back stretch, give it to the 60 of Fowler. As we see Hardy drops down to begin this pit cycle, followed by the 27, our second place driver bumps up wide to this as we see the 75 car go into the pits as well. This is gonna put now this is the time that I said who's gonna stretch it and who has the feel as we see the 61 and the 52. Wow, coming in hot. Can he get on the binders? It looks like he was coming in hot as we see the 49 coming down to pit road as well. Same with Fowler. Frank Skimmerhorn is going to stay out to get his lap back as Alex has is now going to make his turn on pit road. So everybody within a lap and a half is on pit road. Right side's going up for the 49 car. This is going to be 4 tires in the field for every single car here. As we see the 76 back out on track. Let's see where he cycles over. And there's a 17 car. We'll see where this cycles everybody out. As Alex and the 72 car still sitting on pit road. '49 makes his way back out on the pit road as we see the 76 go by him. Ryan in front, so Ryan does stay in front of James Jones, as well as Hardy stays in front. There's the 61. He is in 4th, right where he was when we decided to pit. So everybody kind of stayed right where they were. The Frank Skimmerhorn started this pit cycle of 10 laps ago, so he's going to get freight trained by these guys as you see the pace on these cars. And there's the 52 back up to 3rd. Can he go track down? And I'm sorry, but the 27 did get around the 72 car on this pit exchange. So new race leader, the 27 car, the huge lead. He overcut that like a pro. He got out and he has annihilated our previous race lead. He is 3 seconds ahead of this field. He timed that one perfectly. So congratulations to the 27 for overcutting that. As the pit cycles have completed, this is your rundown. The 27 is in first, followed by the 72. Third is the 52 of Brantley, followed by the 61 of Wyatt. Fifth spot goes to the 17 of Dustin. Sixth goes to the 60 of Ryan Holler. The seventh position goes to James Jones in the 76. And up 8 to 8th from 11th where he started, give it to the 75 car, followed by our two old gurus, the 49 and the 54 respectively, in ninth and 10th. And unfortunately, like I said, Jared Fowler decided to call it a day, so he will round out our 11th place for this evening. As Alex has cut a half second down on this race lead the past few laps. In tow is the 52 of Brantley. We should be around the lap almost 100 before we see these drivers pit again. So just under our halfway point, we should see our second round of stops as we see second and third respectively, almost a second in between these three drivers. And Alex has closed another 2.5 tenths on our race leader. That 72 car is looking strong this early on in the going here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And if you followed this form of racing long enough, you know at one point this was called the Lowe's Motor Speedway before everybody said no, return it back to the rightful name. And Charlotte Motor Speedway decided to make a return once the sponsorship from Lowe's decided to not renew their contract. And let me tell you, I am so glad that they did because I did not like calling it Lowe's Motor Speedway. It sounded wrong, whereas Charlotte just, it has a ring to it. I'm a little biased. I can't help it. As these three drivers here on screen are cutting down our race leader's gap. Now it's to 2 seconds. So from the end of the pit stop cycle to now, which has only been a handful of laps, these drivers have cut over a second out of our race leader's lead. And it's looking right now like the hard charger is going to go to the 27 this early on, but a lot of racing to go as we have 200 more circuits around this beautiful mile-and-a-half speedway. You gotta love racing here under the lights at Charlotte. There's just something about this track that, man, these cars look great. Kudos to all the guys that paint them for making it pop like that. Huge shout out to all the painters all on iRacing. Without them, none of us would have custom paints. So huge shout out to all of our custom painters on the iRacing server. And as a race leader, I think he might just be taking it easy, knowing that he had a huge lead. He now has kind of stabilized it, so he was just kind of running there. But right now, it hasn't moved much. It's right there around 1.8 seconds, almost 2 seconds. So you see him get a little loose off of 4 going into the dog leg. Thank you to everybody watching and commenting on the live stream. Appreciate it. Without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So, huge shout out to all you guys watching at home. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Truly, thank you. As we see our third place runner of Brantley starting to ever so slightly cut into that advantage that the 72 car had over him. As these two both have cut another half second in 3 laps off of our race leader. I know all too well as a race leader, when you have a huge lead like that, you tend to just kind of let it go. But is this the time where you take it easy, or do you push? As we see the huge contact for the 52 car off of turn 3, getting it onto the front straightaway, that transition will catch you if you're not paying attention. That transition from 3 to the front stretch does push you more towards the wall, so you gotta be careful. I've seen it happen too many times in leagues and in real life where drivers will hit that barrier and it will ricochet you into the race going on around you and wad it all up. 60 laps down here from the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway. And like I said early on in the broadcast, this is the halfway point in the season. As this battle is starting to heat up and close down on it for third place, Wyatt has found something. He is bringing the heat onto the back bumper of that 52 car, as the 52 is struggling ever so slightly right now to keep the rear tires underneath that car. And this is going to be the battle right now, as the 61 is closed within 4 to 5 car lengths. Let's see what he can do off of 2 down the back straightaway. Looks like the 52 is hurting, I think, from when he hit the wall on the front stretch. Might have some aero damage on the rear of that Chevrolet. Doesn't look like, but it does not look like that 52 is handling like it did a handful of laps ago. Only 3/10 of a second. It's 4 car lengths separate our third and fourth place drivers. You know that 61 hungry. He wants to win again, but I know as well Brantley does not want to lose and will do anything in his power to keep that 52 either Byron or Gordon inspired Chevrolet in front of the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet of Wyatt. Good battle heating up for here, as these two have fallen to almost 2 seconds behind our second place runner, who has kind of stabilized at about a second and a half from our race leader. Interesting as this second stint on tires goes on. And the only other battle we have that might be shaping up is the 60 tracking down the 17th. The 17 car of Dustin Hardy here for 5th. A good almost 10 seconds behind that battle for 3rd. As the 52 has started to pull a couple more car lengths out in front of the 61. Maybe just got those tires hot. As you see Herrick, who went a lap down, unfortunately. No harm, no foul. He'll get that lap back. As we see another 2/10 knocked off of our race lead for that 72 car. Closing the gap within almost just right around a second. As our race leader is about ready to put the 75 a lap down. We'll see how our race leader goes through lap traffic. And once our race leader gets around the 75 car, the next one on the docket is at 76 of James Jones, 5 some seconds up the road. Now is the time in the run, as we're halfway through this run. This is the time when you need to decide, do I play hero or do I just ride? This is the hard point in the race, as we are a quarter way through this race this afternoon. As the 72 with our race leader being stuck behind and equally as fast Ford Mustang of the 75. Now the 27 is having to search for grip, as the 75 is running the line that our race leader is running. That our race leader is in dirty air. That's allowed Alex to close a second and a half in 4.5 laps. Goes to show you what the dirty air does to these cars. You struggle when you're behind even a lap car like this. You know, that dirty air is pretty bad here at the mile and a half. You can use it to your advantage if your car fouling, but you want to try to not run in the tire tracks of a lap down car and forfeit the race lead. You gotta, as a race leader, you gotta search where your car isn't. As that 75 car has the pace to stay a couple car lengths in front of our race leader. Now, as a race leader, Dylan has to be looking out his front mirror as well as his rear view mirror because Alex has closed that door within 4.5 car lengths as we go down the backstretch. What was a almost a 4 second lead when this cycle of green flag runs started is now down to just a car length and a half off of turn 4, heading to the stripe to put lap 71 down to start lap 72. Alex is there, hot and heavy, just a car length and a half off of the back bumper. Now there is no gap between our top two as they are bumper to bumper down the back straightaway. Where does Alex go? He goes high, try to get the clean air on the front of that Ford Mustang. As he's gonna search for grip now. As he's gonna look. Nope. Yep. Look inside our race leader. Our battle for our race lead heating up hot and heavy as the 72 pulls out in front ever so slightly, but the 27 has the high line. And no, the 72 back over to our race lead. Now, what can he do with our lap traffic as both race leaders go underneath the 75 car? Putting him a lap down, unfortunately. Alex back up to the race lead, and don't look now, but if shortly up the road, we're going to have another lap car. And that is going to be Frank Skimmerhorn, it looks like, in front of our race leaders. Yes, it is. Knowing Frank, he's going to give the race leaders their line. As Alex has caught and disposed of the 27 car, he has put almost a half second lead. Give to Alex, he's looking very strong this early on in the going. As the 27 car gets a little loose behind the 54 car, that allows Alex to pull away ever so slightly. Good battle for this race lead. As Brantley, our third place runner, just kind of riding around, but don't look now off of his back bumper. The 61 just riding, biding their time. As the field is very spread out here on this mile and a half. As we got to go back almost 11 seconds to our fifth place driver of the 17. And another second behind him is the 60 of Ryan Fowler. And way back, another 6 seconds almost, James Jones is in seventh. And like I said, our eighth place did go a lap down from our race leaders. As we see the 27 get into the wall, that's going to allow our race leader to pull away even more up to almost a second. Now separates our top two. As we're going to be about 20 laps away from our pit cycle. So we will see what this race has in store once we hit about a lap 100. I would expect to see cars start diving to pit road starting at around lap 95 to 100 is going to be our pit cycle. So these drivers are getting good gas mileage out of these tanks, almost 50 laps in the tank, which is pretty good here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Once again, I said beautiful looking paint scheme as Cheesecake makes his way around turn 4, back to the stripe to lead one more lap, racking up his laps led even more on the season. As the 17 goes underneath his good buddy of Jeffrey Herrick. And right now, our closest battle for position is for this third place position. Under a second separates these two. Now will lap traffic play into the battle for this third spot? As Wyatt's looking to track down that 52 car. And we said it time and time again, but here in what was formerly known as the Hardy Cup Series, which is now the Southwest Speed Shop Cup Series, this is pretty typical here, long green flag runs. The fact that nobody besides the 96 of Jared Fowler has dropped out or had significant damage, it goes to show you the caliber of these drivers. And we look to add to that. So if you or anybody you know, like I said, is looking to get into iRacing and want to join a league, go ahead and send an invite over on Discord or drop your name into the comment section of this video and we can get you all sorted out and figured out if you want to join this series, which is going to start back over probably in March or April of next year. Um, so yeah, if you're on Discord, go ahead and hit up Dustin Hardy or anybody associated with this series, and they can get you hooked up and get you into a pretty competitive and yet fun league. As the 27 is still right around a second behind our race leader. And don't look now, but that 52 is slowly starting to reel in our second place drivers. We may have a battle for second here very shortly. Will it happen before our next cycle of green flag pit stops? Wait and see. This gives us an opportunity to once again thank all of our sponsors that make this possible week in and week out. Without sponsors, we don't go anywhere. Believe it or not. We're going to start this time, with our friends over at Outcast Motorsports. Amazing group of guys, and a lot of the guys you see on track today are members of the Outcast Motorsports family. Good group of people that enjoy laughter. If you want humor, some serious, go head over to Outcast Discord. You'll find it there. Everybody over at Hardy Setup Shop and Dustin Hardy making it happen. Competitive, fun, and affordable setups. Go hit up Hardy Setup Shop today for all your iRacing needs. And once again, all of our friends over at iRacing.com for making all of this possible. Your deals are awaiting for stocking stuffers. Head over to iRacing.com and get 25 or 50% off for new members. If you are an existing member, go ahead and give your friends or family your referral code so you can get some money in your account to use on tracks or whatever. As we see the 27 go on to pit road, this is going to start our pit cycle here. As the second place driver decided, I am done, I am going to pit. And now the drivers take notice that one of our top runners have pitted. How many more drivers are going to start pitting here as we hit lap 90? Top three and say no go as we see James Jones on pit road right now. He's going to go to the service of his crew as he's also representing Hardy Sim Shots. If you have a replay or anything, little plug to Dustin, head over to him and get your custom iRacing or sim racing picture taken, and he can get it produced for you and you can put it on your wall or mount it wherever. as the 17 of Dustin Hardy decides that this is my time, he is going to bring in that Toyota Camry to his attention to his crew. Right side is going to go up on that Camry, as this is going to be a 4 tires and stop. And the 72 and the 52 of our race leader. Right side's going up on the 52 and 72. This is going to be the battle for the race lead once this cycles around. Where do they fall? Left side's who gets off of pit road. It's going to be tight. The 52 gets ahead of the 72 car. Ooh, this is going to be a battle for the race lead. As we see our race leader going around him. As we see Ryan Hollard and now our race leader of the 61 on pit road. 4 tires and fuel going in as Herrick decides to make his pit stop. Where will this cycle the 17 car? He'll get around the 16, so move him up to the 5th position right now. As this should cycle the 27 back out to our race lead right now. Followed on track right now, the 76 looking strong this round early on. Frank Skimmerhorn will definitely have to pit at some point. And there's the 52 car who did get around Alex. So that drop Alex right now to the 3rd spot. Unfortunate for him. He went from leading to now having to do it all over again. As the 52 is going to look underneath. And makes quick work of our lap car of Frank Skimmerhorn in that beautiful 54 Chevrolet. And our 6th place driver right here behind our race leader. As Dylan timed that perfectly and undercut this pit stop to try to get the race lead, and he did. And once again, we're at a 3-second advantage for him. Now, will we see that 3-second lead diminish like we did last time, or did he learn from his mistakes last run? As these laps are ticking off in a hurry, folks. We're almost 100 laps in, and we have still yet, knock on wood, to see our first yellow of the day. Now, I will throw this out there. If we go green from start to finish, I personally will give every driver in the field $1. Yep, I will give everybody $1 if we go green start to finish. As, excuse me. As you see, Holler getting around the 17 car, looking strong, and Wyatt struggling after this round of pit stops. He was battling for a race lead and just did not get a good time to come down to pit road, and is now kind of in his lonesome. Some 12 seconds off the back bumper of the 7th place car. So not the pit cycle he wanted for the 61 car. We'll see if the 52 car can track down our release leader, as now it flip-flopped. This 52 is doing what Alex did the last green flag run. We're going to see if their 76 car of our 6th place car can get back up there and get his lap back, because he will be a lap down. We'll see what Bryant can do in that 52 car. Can he track down our race leader of Dylan Gonaz? Caution. Speak of the devil, there's a caution. Let's see who it's for. I don't see anybody spun, but I do see Herrick driving to pit road. So let's see what happened to Herrick. Nope, he just thought better of it. As this is our first yellow on the track, as we hit lap 100, as Hardy threw what I would assume would be a competition caution. Try to bunch the field back up. Now, what do you do as a driver when you've had very little run on these tires? Do you get another set of tires and use up a set of tires, or you just top it off? Let's see what our top three decide to do. Do not see any tires going on. Looks like it's just going to be a top off. The 52 gets the race off. That young man has been pulling off the unbelievable on these pit cycles. He will take over our race lead once again. The first time in 70 some odd laps we've seen him take over our race lead, as we will see the 76 car get his wave around this time by. And it does look like the 61 also may get the wave around. We will wait and find out. And once again, with this caution, we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsors one more time. Obviously, over our friends over at Wilkes Productions for making all of this possible. Thank you for tuning in each and every week. I really appreciate it. And thanks for allowing me to do this. Dustin Hardy, huge shout out to you. And speaking of the Hardys, Miss Sam Hardy, thank you so much for sponsoring us and all that we do week in and week out over at HMS. Hit her up via call or email for all your propane or natural gas necessities. Once again, our friends over at Hardy Setup Shop. You need a setup that's going to get you a victory, go head over to them and they will get you all sorted out. Once again, our huge shout out to all the guys over at Outcast Motorsports. And last but not least, our friends over at iRacing for making all this possible. I've said it time and time again, but now is the holiday season. If you need a stocking stuffer, go head over to iRacing.com and go get yourself or your friends a stocking stuffer, and I'll see you on the racetrack. As we double it up here, gonna get the restart on lap 103. The 52 back out in front. Followed to his outside of the 27 of Dylan Gonez. Don't look now, but that 72 car is back up there, and Ryan Holler in the 60 car right there as well, and don't count out. Dustin Hardy looking strong there. As we're going to get the green flag now. Good jump from the 52. Timed that perfectly, as we got a battle for the second spot between the 72 and the 27. Sorry, as the 72 goes back to second, gives his third spot to the 27 car, followed by the 60 of Ryan Howler. And off the back bumper of the 60 is that 17 car of Dustin Hardy. As this battle for second is heating up right now. As Hardy gets hard into the wall on the front stretch. Now this is like a brand new race. The front five have pulled away. Tight racing for that third spot. As I'm sorry, Hardy is in seventh on my scoring sheets. Almost a lap down. So he's got to race around the race leaders to get essentially another lap back. As the 60 of Howler looks to get around him, and Hardy was going to mix up that position for him. As Hardy, oh no, Hardy's going to get tangled with the 60. Can they keep it green? Yes, they do. Oh, Hardy's got. Oh, as we got a huge melee here. The 17 go around, takes out the 75. Oh boy. Let's watch that one ever so slowly to see what happened. Hardy hits the wall and Fowler hits the wall. Hardy gets loose, tries to save it, gets into the 60. The 60 looks like he's got it saved. Dustin has some damage as that car wiggles, and just the 70, no contact, the 75 just overcorrects as Hardy locks it down. And that will bring out our second caution flag here on the day. Not what these drivers wanted to see, and I know for Hardy, he's gonna be pounding that steering wheel. There's just nothing that could have done the damage happened, and unfortunately, just nowhere to go for the 75 car, and made heavy front end damage on that wall. But these drivers do have a fast repair if they did not use it here at the mile and a half. So we will see now. Like I said, this is typically around the halfway point, and when stuff starts to go awry here in the series, so we will see if this is gonna bring it. And I'm pretty sure no, Alex decides to stay out. Ooh, pretty ballsy from the 72 car, staying out. This should give our waiver on it. Looks like to the 54 of Frank Skimmerhorn. And unfortunately, Hardy would have been in that spot, but having been involved in that caution, he is no longer able to take the wave around. So he will have to do this the old-fashioned way, or wait for another yellow to come out to get back on the race or the lead lap and try to shake it up here. Southern Speed Shop Toyota Camry not looking as good as it did to start the evening. Significant damage on the splitter of that Camry. He will most likely bring that down to the attention of his crew if he can. And what I assume is 4 tires and fuel for everybody else. As we see Hardy dropping down below the apron, he's going to go hit pit road before it closes to try to get that damage fixed up and rejoin the field. Now, if you're Alex, are you a sitting duck? He could go down and potentially lose the race lead if he wants to get equal tires, but knowing Alex, he most likely will stay out on track. But now the question is, as we see James Jones say, "Hey, what's up, Wall?" And fans, he gives you a salute. Now, if I was Alex, I would definitely take notice of this because this may happen later on as we approach the finish of this race where we might set up for a green-white checkered or a very short run to the checkered. And we will see what no tires versus 4 tires his advantage as the lights are off this time by from the Ford Mustang pace car as we see the 60 blink ever so slightly. Not quite at the halfway point in the day's festivities as 75 bounces it off the wall. This time by, he's going to pull over. As lights are out, as we're going to hit the Echo Park automotive restart zone here. As the pace car is going to get ready to dive off and take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road, leaving the race in the hands of the 72 car of Alex, aka also known as Cheesecake, as we see the 75 follow the pace car on the pit road to try to get more service on that pace car or race car done. Green flag is in the air as we've got contact. Caution is out. As the 27, sorry, was trying to get the whole. Just looked like he got a might have gotten a little help from the 60 car. Nope. Yeah, a little contact, a little spin, but he spins it out here in front of the field. Puts that again. Ever so slightly. Slight contact. Heavy damage on the front of the 61 car. And just loops it around into the outside wall of the front stretch. The old saying, cautions breed cautions. As more than likely, he's not going to be happy with that. As we see the 52 car decide to come down to pit road, and the 27 who was involved in that caution going to bring that Ford Mustang back onto pit road to the attention of his crew to try to assess the damage, if any. And this is going to benefit Dustin Hardy. He should be back on the race lead lap. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. I'm so sorry. And with that, don't look now, but that has brought the 76 car back into the fray. Welcome to the party, James Jones. As he's representing all of us over at Outcast Motorsports on the hood of that Chevrolet. Huge shout out to Jeffrey Herrick for Outcast, and I don't know if it was him or Hardy that made that Outcast logo, but that's a pretty awesome logo, not gonna lie. Kind of feel left out there, you know. If I kind of need it on my hood of one of my cars, you know. Hint, hint, wink, wink if you guys are watching. No, at all good fun. These guys are an amazing group of guys. Privileged to call them my friends. Got to give them a little guff every now and then. As the 75 gets the waiver round to catch up with the back of the field. Looks like Ryan Howard having a little bit of internet issues right now going on, blinking a little bit. We'll see if that can resolve itself because he's had a strong race car thus far. He is going to be on the outside of row 1. On the inside of row 2 is that 76 of James Jones, followed by our 52, who's been very dominant early on. Looking to get back in that race lead of Bryant on the inside row of 3, the 27, followed to his outside of the 61, and back behind them on the lead lap, his is 17 behind Frank Skimmerhorn. We will see right now as Jones is in contention for I Want That Hard Charger of the Race Award. Let's see if they can keep this restart clean and green. As pace car hits that hard right left-hand turn as we're approaching the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. Green flag is going to be in the air. Good jump for our race leader. Huge advantage as we got nose to tail. The 52 pushing the 60 as we got a 3 wide for a moment. No, thinks better of it as the 76 car is going to take a look underneath our 60 place car of Ryan Holler. This is the highest Jones has been up all evening. Right now sitting in third. Now fourth. Let's see if he can get back around there. But the 52's looking strong on that high side. Give, give it. No. Jones coming back on the inside, bringing along the 61 car. Welcome back to the fray, Wyatt. Looking strong. High wide enhancement at HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. 2 Mustangs lead. 3 Camaros. And if you didn't know and aren't following NASCAR's breaking news, the Camaro's back, everybody, for 2026 with a little bit of body modification. But otherwise, the same cars that you see on track here are what's going to be on track in the Cup Series next year in real life. So, unfortunately, for everybody that was hoping that they'd switch manufacturers or different cars, unfortunately, no. All that hype for nothing. As we see Hardy in the 27 going at it, as Hardy relinquished that spot to Dylan. Dylan's going to try to march back up here and get back up to the race lead, as this is the farthest he's been back in quite some time. As we see the top 7 cars all on the same screen and stretch of pavement. 10 laps away from 9 laps away from halfway. Now this is the closest the top 5, top 6 have been since the race started. No one's giving an inch right now. As we see the 27 thought to look over the high side. No, the 52 throwing sparks on the Kyle Larson line like he's been running all evening. Gets a good run right on the back bumper of Ryan Hollers. He's going to look to the outside through 3 and 4. Ryan says, you can have it. I like my car right now on the bottom. Give it to Ryan off of turn 4 right now. As we saw a position change, the 27 did get around to James Jones. Now as Hardy is looking to get around Jones. Drop Jones back as he rides the wall. Give that spot to Dustin Hardy. As we only have 7 cars on the lead lap right now. As we see these drivers are bouncing these cars off of the wall. As we see 2 tires into the grass for the 52 car. Ryan Howler gets shot out of a cannon into 1 and 2. Holy cow. Oh, he's going to get spun into the inside wall. Can he keep it off? No, he's going to make hard contact with the left side and spins that car out. Ooh, narrowly avoiding the 75 car. Unfortunately, that he is not going to be happy with that, as we see just ever so slight, contact from the 52 car sends the 61 hard into the inside retaining wall. Trying to stay off of it, just can't get that Mustang slowed down. and then just hits that bump where we have the roval and just can't lock it down and spins right into the path of the 75 car, barely getting by that. The build7marines.com car is definitely going to need some repair after that. And if I know Ryan, he is not going to be happy with that, as he's going to bring that Ford Mustang to the attention of his 60 Roush Fenway team. I'm sorry, that's just what I know it as. I don't actually remember the team that Ryan drives for, unfortunately, here in this series, so I apologize for that, Ryan, if you're watching. As we see a little bit of mix-up here going on here, a little bit of split strategy, as the 60 who brought out that caution flag is going to come down here. As we see Jones, Gonez comes down, and Brantley Bryant comes down as well. Looks like this may just be a fuel stop for the 52 to top that off. And that will leave Alex, Wyatt, Hardy on track for our lead lap cars. Interesting, folks, as we're only 2 laps away from the halfway point into tonight's festivities. And this is our third caution within 20 laps. So, like I said, I hate to say it, and it was a commentator's curse, but it's kind of what happens here in this series, where we get around the halfway point and the fatigue starts coming into play, and drivers make mistakes, and then we get it all out of our system somehow, and then we go green until the checkered flag. So we will see, and we will see what's happening. Real quick, as we are following that 52 car, or that 54 car of Frank Skimmerhorn. Huge shout out to Frank Skimmerhorn, as that man dedicates his life as a firefighter every week and every day of his life. So huge shout out for all of his amazing efforts that he did with all the wildfires that were happening, and volunteering for his time within disaster relief. So Frank, you are a tremendous human being, and huge shout out going out to you and everybody that is associated with you and your fire department. So huge shout out to you guys. As it looks like the lights are out on a Ford Mustang pace car, as Alex is going to bring him back to the restart zone. Looky who's back out up front is that 61 car, the HendrickStockCars.com Chevrolet of Wyatt Mitchelson, sorry, is back out there up front. And don't look now, but this is very eerily reminiscent of the initial starting order that we had this evening. Funny how that has a way of working out here in this series. As we gonna hit the Echo Park automate. I still can't say that, it's a tongue twister. I apologize. The Echo Park restart zone. We're gonna go crank it up style for this restart.
Be ready, green flag.
Good racing going on here from our top five drivers. As you see, sight contact from the Ryan Holler to the back of the 52 car. Let's see if he can remember what happened on that restart and if he can get around the 52 car. Side by side into turn three for the fifth position. That is the battle to watch right now on track. Let's give it to Howler as Bryant falls back. And don't look now, but the 60 is pushing hard to get by the 27 car. That 60 car looking to find a way around the 27 of Gonez. Looking low is the 60 car, but give this advantage to the 27 for now. As it looks like the battle for the race lead is starting to heat up as the 61 has found some magic back in that Chevrolet. As the top four all within a second of each other. This is going to get good as we are already have reached the halfway point and then some here in today's race. Top three have separated from that fourth place runner of Holler. Good race thus far. 132 laps in. Less than 120 to go. Top three single file. Half a second over our fourth place runner of Holler. As this battle for fifth is heating up between these three drivers. You got the 52, the 17, and the 76 all battling for this fifth place spot. These cars are the last three cars on our lead lap. Now, if I were these three drivers, I would run nose to tail and try to work and close that gap on our race leaders. Don't get too racy. Help each other out at this point to try to close that gap so we can see 7 cars battling for this race lead. That would be cool to see. As these three have sorted it out right now, separated about 3 car lengths apiece. As I say, that already closes in on the back bumper of the 52 car. That's what I was saying. These drivers just keep catching that corner, just and the car just pushes it up, and you bounce off the retaining wall. Thought that would give Jones a look, but no. Hardy pulls back away from Jones, right on the back bumper of Brantley Bryant. Bryant, let's see what he can do. Between these three, as we see the 60 kind of all alone by him, lonesome right now, just holding on to that draft from the top three, as the top three are separated equal distance apart, 3 to 4 car lengths, depending on which end of the speedway you look at. We know the 72 has been strong, the 27 has been strong, the 61 has had showed potential this evening, and as we got a battle for second going on, Wyatt under a heavy attack from the 27 of Dylan Gonez. As Gonez is going high in 1 and 2, not as high as we've seen some drivers, but high enough to get the momentum on the high side down the back straightaway. Move Dylan up to that second spot. Now he's going to look to track down our race leader of Alex Cheesecake. If Alex wins tonight, I assure you folks, we are going to hear the reason why his nickname is Cheesecake. We have a few nicknames here in this series that are hilarious. One off the top of my head is Frank Skimmerhorn's nickname is Firestick. Um, and Dustin Hardy is can't think of his right now. I saw it earlier. Unfortunately, it slipped my mind as we as the top four found each other once again as the 60 has come back to life, looking to take over that third spot from the 61 of Mickelson. We'll see what he can do. And a ways back behind them, a second and a half between behind the first four, you have our fifth place runner of Brantley Bryant running in fifth, followed by the 17 of Dustin Hardy. And followed not too far off of his back bumper is the 76 of James Jones. And one lap down, we have the 75 car of Rome. Excuse me. And many laps down, Frank Skimmerhorn. And I do believe Herrick did call it a day. I unfortunately did not see that. Um, so it looks like he is done for the day, unfortunately, as well. And out early on in this race is the 96 taking the 11th and final starting position, 85 laps behind. And just like early on in the race, the field is starting to turn this racetrack into one giant mile-and-a-half conveyor belt as we got cars on both ends of this speedway. This is the tightest of battle for the race lead has been in quite some time, as we have 108 laps to go here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, as the 27 is now putting the pressure on the back of the 72. I know Alex, he's not too concerned because Alex loves the long run, and he has kept that Mustang out in the clean air relatively well. As we see the 27, he saves it. Oof. That could have been disastrous if he could not save that. And that brings Wyatt right back into the picture and gives some breathing room off the back bumper of the 72 car. Now back into the fray. Did not slow him down in the slightest. The 27 is back on the prowl, tracking down our race leader. As it looked like Fowler may have touched the wall ever so slightly on the front stretch, as he's starting to fall into the clutches of the 52 car. Brantley Bryant, who has dispatched of the 17 of Dustin Hardy. And folks, I think I can say I have started to see who is strong and who is not at this point in the race. And unfortunately, to the guy who owns this race league, Dustin Hardy's not having the day that he wanted. I know he would love to be battling up there in the top three or top four. Just not has had the car for whatever reason. That Camry has not been to his liking, and he's just trying to bring this home as this battle for the fourth position heats up. As the 52 looks high, trying to get that run down the back stretch. He's got it. He's going to look to the outside of the 60 of Ryan Holler. Holler stays low. The 52 wound up like a rubber band in that high line, trying to get the run. Can't make it stick. Gets a little loose off of four. Give it to Fowler. Howler at the line. Why did I say Fowler? I am so sorry. 52 running that Kyle Larson line where he's been all evening long, looking strong. This battle rages on as we got a battle for that race lead heating up between the 27 and 72 of Alex as well. We will see as the 61 is starting to close back down on these guys as well. So three-way battle as the 52 does make work as we we're going to the battle for the lead of the 60. So give that spot to Brantley as he is marching his way back up to the race lead. Now he's got a tall order. He is 2 seconds behind our race leader. Well, let's see if he has the car and pace to bring that Chevrolet back up there, as the 60 has not let him get away. These two have been fighting tooth and nail as we see them switch. The 60 of Howler goes to that high line. Does not quite get the run that the 52 does, but still closes down on the back bumper. A car length and a half going into turn 3. The 52 hugging the inside line. The 60 running about a lane and a half higher. Pretty even this time by. As the battle for the race lead, we have 5 car lengths in between our front two. Almost another 7 to 8 car lengths in the rearview mirrors is that 61 car. He's just, as we have approached the 100 to go mark, folks. 100 to go here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 99 this time by. It's crunch time, folks. We no longer have triple digits on that board. We have double digit laps left here this evening. It is anybody's guess. I would imagine the carnage is far from over. Will we see another wreck or caution, or will we get an admin caution to bring the field back? Who knows? Stay tuned, as this has been an action packed evening from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. As the battle for the race lead is heating up, the 27 Agones is looking strong at this point in this run. Good corner entry, but falls off a little bit corner exit. Yeah, caution is out.
Any comments there, bud?
And it looks like the 17 loops it coming off of turn 4. Gets into the wall and just can't save it that time by, and just goes for a wild ride. Holy cow. Travis Pastrana would be proud of that double. He cleared that quarter-mile infield legend circuit like it was nothing. So Extreme Air Award for today goes to Dustin Hardy. Congratulations, sir, on that award. I know it's not what you wanted, but you made Travis Pastrana proud, my man. And that will bring out another caution flag on the day, unfortunately. Now, this is going to allow these drivers to get 4 fresh tires and fuel. As we will see who decides to bring it down. If I were your race leader, I would definitely decide to get 4 fresh tires and fuel. If I had to guess, you can make this race on one more stop if you time it perfectly. With under 100 to go, we have 44 laps to go as the whole field decides to make its way down to pit road. As the 72 makes his way to the attention of his crew, followed by Gonez, as we see the 75 car stay out to get his lap back. Let's see, I would assume to see 4 tires and fuel for all these drivers. Left side's going up. No, the 27 looks like that's just going to be a fuel stop. He's going to go out as the guys behind him, 4 tires and fuel. The 72 followed by the 52 by the 61, but The 27, fuel only. We'll see what he can do with these old tires. A little flip flop from a couple of cautions ago when Alex decided to just stay out and have fuel, and then everybody else pitted. As we see the 27 dropping back. Oh no, he is off the pace. Do not know why. He's giving up the track positions. Don't know if he has a problem with that car or what happened there, but he drops to the tail end of the lead. That might have had a speeding penalty and had a black flag for that. As we see the 17 coming back out on the racetrack as well as the 75 car. As the field is gridded up, what a beautiful evening here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we are gonna get the restart with 94 to go. So you see a little bit of not knowing what to do here. Gotta bunch up on this restart, gentlemen. As we got the cars in the right positions where we needed to go. Brian blinking ever so slightly. Pace car makes a hard left hand as we approach the Echo Park restart
Green
zone. Green
flag,
is
green
in the air.
flag, green flag.
Slow start as the 52 is going to loop it around,
Come on,
catching the
come on, come
17
on.
car. Ugh.
And the talking
And
turtle
followed by the
going out
72
there.
and the 54 car. Holy cow, 4 cars involved in this. Let us see where this all starts. This starts from our second place starter. The 52 just spins it, gasses it up. He's going to bounce off the wall. In net codes into the 17 car. Oh, into the 75, and then Frank just breaks it loose. Mayhem on that restart as the 75 car just slams the wall. We'll see what happens. He's trying to get around, just gets collected, and just, oh, unfortunate for him. Yeah, unfortunate for everybody involved. Not what you want to see. As you see the 75 with significant damage on that car. He's crab walking. That will most likely be a day ender for the gentleman driving that car, making his series debut this evening. A little bit of haze in the air here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Little bit of haze coming onto the speeder right now. As we re-rack them once again. Let's see if we can get a cleaner restart this time by. As if I'm not mistaken, it looks like daylight is approaching, so I think we started at night and looks like we're going to end during the daytime here in the sim. Because it is starting to get brighter out, and I think that is why we have the haze. Now, if I'm not mistaken, The name rail on Alex's car is somewhat near and dear to his heart. So that's a cute little shout out there, Alex. Just caught that. As we are still under caution, this will allow us once again to thank our sponsors. We're going to start this time off with iRacing.com. Now is the perfect time to get your loved ones or yourself more memberships or start it into the sim racing world. So go over to iRacing.com and get your 1 or 2 year subscription. If you do a 2 year, you get 50% off. If you do your 1 year as a new customer, you get 25% off. And if you're a returning customer, like many of us are, go ahead and give your new friends that want to give this a try a referral code so you can get a discount and money back in your pocket. Our friends over at Hardy Setup Shop. Need I say more? Hardy Setup Shop. All of us over at Outcast Motorsports, thanks for joining us every week. We look forward to the rest of the season and what it has in store for you. And of course, Wilkes Productions for making all this possible. And like I said, thank you for everybody watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And last but not least, we're going to give this last one before we hit this restart to Sam Hardy, Dustin Hardy's wife. For all your propane and natural gas appliance needs, give her a call or email today. So thank you, Sam, for hopping on board. As we get ready to go green, folks, you can see the sun is starting to rise here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Did not know this was a nighttime into daytime race, but the sun is starting to come out. The track is going to start hazing over as we are going to get the green with 89 laps to go. As we hit
Green
the Echo
flag.
Park restart zone, green is in the air. Much cleaner restart that time by Alex. Gets a huge lead as the battle for second is raging on. The 60 of Fowler follow on the outside of him. The 61 of Wyatt Mickelson looking strong on the high side. The 61 gets a good drive off. That brings the 17 car on the outside of the speedway here. Hardy looking strong here after getting tangled up in that caution. Not too much damage on the front of that 17 Camry. He's now slots over to third. Drop Ryan Holler back to fourth. Dylan Gones is in fifth. Followed up by James Jones in sixth. And seventh is Brantley in that 52 car. Not where he wanted to be, but do not count him out. As we see the morning sun starting to appear on the backstretch, this is going to be interesting for these drivers seeing the sunrise. This is going to bring a whole new level back to this track as we see turns 3 and 4 and the front straightaway in the sunlight. The front stretch is going to heat up as 1 and 2 are still underneath relatively shades as we got a battle for the race lead. And that 61, give it to that young man. That 61 takes over our race lead once again. As the sun is going to be in these drivers' eyes going into 3 and 4, that is a whole new dynamic these drivers had not had yet to face. As we see the 17 car get a little loose. And as I was saying before we watch this battle for the race lead, this track is going to change dramatically these last 80 so laps as the morning sun is going to start heating this track up. These drivers have had this track figured out for a good chunk of this race. But now, like I said, it's that morning sun. A beautiful morning here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway starts to peel. The grandstand is still packed, so thank you fans in the grandstands as well as all of you watching as we saw the 52 car get a little loose, but saves it, and that's going to let the 27 go by on the outside as Brantley falls back once again to P7, but he is on the rebound, battling that position back underneath the 27 car. As the haze grows thicker here in the morning here at Charlotte, gives this race a little mysterious feel to it. As we see the old man of the group, Frank Schermerhorn, still out there putting in laps. As our race leader of Wyatt Mickelson looking strong this stage in the race. Here we go, folks. The action's getting hot and heavy right now. As Alex kind of just riding around right now, right now, biding his time. And the third place driver, Dustin Hardy. Good to see him after all the problems he's had this night into now morning here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Good to see him up to third. Somehow he's figured this out. And behind him in that fourth spot is Jones. But don't look now. That 52 car is back up and running. He is back up to the fifth position. Looking strong. As the sun, like I said, is going to be in these drivers' eyes as they go down the back straightaway. Pretty even spaced out from the top three, separated about 7/10 of a second each. As you can see, how many positions on that ticker that these drivers have moved, and it's changed many a times over the course of tonight, now into the next day's race. And as that sun continues to rise here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, this track is going to change lap after lap. So that is something from now until we see the checkered flag that these drivers are going to have to battle, as these drivers were comfortable with the track in shaded conditions and the night time, that the track had a lot of grip. Now, it's early on in the morning, yes, but once that sun starts to get higher, this track temperature is going to go up and the grip is going to fall away. So who can manage this ever-changing track as we approach the conclusion of tonight's festivities here? I've only done one night into daytime event, and that was the Daytona 24 Hours here on iRacing a couple years back. And let me tell you, folks, it's nothing. There's nothing like it when you see that sun start to rise from nighttime into the daytime on a track, and the feel of the car and the track and how it changes. It really does change, and it's pretty cool. You know, going from pitch darkness to now you have natural light on the track adds a whole different dynamic, and it's a pretty cool experience. If you never experienced, like I said, go head over to iRacing.com and you can experience it for yourself. There's nothing like it, and you talk to any of these drivers in the field, and they'll tell you the same thing. Now, there's just something about seeing the sunrise and sunset here that just, as a race car driver, is something you don't get to see very often. So the fact that we're going to see this here this week at Charlotte is pretty cool. As the only battle we have right now is for this race lead, as there's almost a second gap between the 61 and the 72 of Alex, and a long way back there in third, two odd some seconds behind is Dustin Hardy, and another second behind him. James Jones has found something as the sunlight's coming. His car is liking this track right now, track state, so he's starting to come alive, starting to put the pressure on that 17 car. And don't look now, but the 52 car has started to track him down as well. So we got a three-car battle here. And then there's Dylan Gonez making his debut, running strong here in the sixth position. So this will be a three-car battle here for the third position here, very, very shortly, as Hardy is struggling to find grip right now in that Camry. Like I said, the track is changing lap after lap. These drivers are going to have to adjust on the fly, which is easier said than done when you're going at 180 miles an hour around this track at any given time. Fatigue is definitely starting to set in here as we reach the last quarter of this race. We have 75 more circuits around this speedway. As this battle's heating up, The battle for the lead is also heating up as Alex is starting to close that lead back down under a second. And as I say that, he loses a couple tenths of a second to our race leader. As Hardy gets into the wall hard, can he save it? No, hard into the wall.
There will
Can
be a
he save it?
caution.
No, he brings out yet again another caution flag. Not what he wanted to see. He did not want to be the reason for that caution. And like I said, he was just struggling as the sun's changing this. As you see, significant damage to separation of the bumper and hood off of the front of that Toyota Camry. And that will bring the top six guys back into the fray. And if I'm not mistaken, I do think Hardy did use up his fast repair earlier on, so he will not have that fast repair. Now, as we have less than 75 laps to go here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, these drivers should all have at least two sets of tires left in the pits. So who's going to take tires, or who's going to try to stretch it on tires and take tires a little bit later on? As we green, the pit road is open, even though it does show closed on the lights, which is kind of confusing, iRacing. As our top two decide to take advantage of this and pit, Frank Skimmerhorn is going to try to get one of his laps back. Brings James Jones with him. He's going to hit the pits first. Let's see if he gets any tires or if he just does fuel. Left side. Oh, Hardy pinches it hard in there. uh, as we saw just left side tires for the 76 car. Right sides went up, the left sides are on the 27. The 60 still in for fuel. Now he's gone. The 52 car, as we see Frank Skimmerhorn coming back, the 52 car is still on pit road. Long stop for these two drivers. As the 52 still sits there, I don't know if he has a lot more damage than I would have anticipated on the 52 car apparently. As we see Ryan Holler make his way back up to catch up to the pack. That will hand the race lead back over to the 72 car and welcome back James Jones to the second position. As we see the 52 and 17 still on pit road, these two drivers are going to lose a lap if the 52 can't make it out before these race leaders make it past him. As Hardy does not lose a lap, he will make it out before the pits. The pace car reaches pit road, and unfortunately, the 52 as well makes it. Those two both stay on our lead lap, so 7 cars still on our lead lap. So huge shout out to those guys' crews for not letting them go a lap down to fix the damage on those two race cars. Still a decent amount of damage on the front of that 17, but it looks like it's not too slow. So we'll see what he can do. As we double back up on the backstretch, we will get the green flag 100 on lap 180. 70 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get down to the nitty and gritty. Little love tap from the 17 to the back of the 27. As you see, the 52 car finally catches up as that pace car is going to take that hard left-hand corner turn onto pit road. As we're going to get, this time Alex decides to take the high side on this restart.
Green flag.
Changing up,
Green
green flag is in the air,
flag.
gets a good start. Huge jump for the 72 car as the race leader is storming away. The battle for second. 4 cars under a blanket. That 76 car looking strong right now. Followed by the 61 car. That 27 car wants that race lead back. He's going to track him, trying to track down Alex before Alex pulls away too much. As the battle for this third spot goes, Jones has it as of now, but Wyatt wants it. Wyatt wants to get up there and challenge Alex for this race lead. Is Wyatt? Where did he come from and got a huge run down the front stretch and makes that pass? Wow, that was a power move if I've ever seen one. Jones falls back to fourth into the clutches of the 60 car as the 52 car looking strong right now. And yeah, that damage on the front of that 17 car is making that car hard to drive for Hardy as he gets into the wall once again. Good race for the 17, but it's just not his race to win this afternoon. As we got a battle for the race lead heating up between the 27 and the 72 car. These 3 cars on screen have been the class of the field all evening in now into the day. Oh, we have a caution flag. As we see the 52 car, and it does look like the 17 car once again. We will find out what happens as, yeah, Hardy loses it, corrects, and whoa! And Frank Skimmerhorn unfortunately just has nowhere to go, and that's gonna end the day for the 17 and possibly the 54 car. Not what we wanted to see. Heavy damage to the front end of that Chevrolet. As Hardy does decide to park it here on pit road. He will be a 1 lap down as we now have 6 cars on the lead lap. And unfortunately, it does look like Frank Skimmerhorn is going to pull that 54 Fire Rescue Chevrolet to the pit road, and it does look like that is as well going to be a day ender. As you see, heavy front end damage for the 54 car. Unfortunate race end to those 2 drivers' races. I can't even say this evening because it's the next day here in the world of the sim. Let's see who decides to drop onto pit road. No, the 61 decides to try his hand while the whole rest of the leaders decide to pit. So varying strategy here late in the going here, as it's another beautiful morning here in the Charlotte area here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looks like a little confusion for the 27 to find his spot. Okay. We will see what is happening to Ryan Holler. Overshot his pits, and he's now going to get just gas and go for that driver. As believe it or not, Frank Skimmerhorn is back out on the racetrack, so did not. Oh, it looked like he did have his fast repair, so he has his fast repair, and that Chevrolet is back to looking spanking new. All right, Frank, don't count out the old man just yet. As I do believe he is still 2 laps down. Race of attrition right now. Huge huge shakeup here. 2 tires versus 4 tires versus gas, and no tires from our race leader. So we will see, as we only have 6 cars on our lead lap. As they make their way down the back stretch. Now, mind you, folks, fatigue has set in for these drivers. This is a very long race, and these drivers are going to be tired. Mistakes are going to happen, and if they are, they're going to happen now. It's been a long race, a lot of G forces, a lot of turning, and constant G forces and lateral load on these drivers' shoulders. Lap after lap here. Mind you, they go around this racetrack very, very fast. They go about 185 down the back stretch and front stretch before they drop to about 172 miles an hour mid corner. As the pace car takes that hard left hand on, leaves the race in the hands of the 61 of
Green
Wyatt Mickelson.
flag.
Green flag is in the air. Good start for the 61 car as the battle for the second spot heats up. 4 cars battle for that second spot as that 4 tires have shown the advantage. As Jones gets into the wall, he'll lose those spots. The 60 of Howler back up into the second, but don't look now. Running that Kyle Larson line is that 52 car. He was a ways back before this caution, and he's back up there running for this win as well. He is going to run high, wide, and handsome as we see the 27 get around Jones. So drop Jones back to the 6th and final car on the lead lap. Battle between the 52 of Bryant and the 72 of Alex running third. Alex will take third and set sail to try to get around Holler. Holler did not look like he was going to be in contention early on because of some damage and being involved in a couple caution flags, but he is back up here and running and raring to go as we are hit the almost 60 to go as we see 2 battles going on for second and third. As that 27 car says, I want to come back to play, as Alex gets around just barely the 72 car around the 60. He bounces it off the wall, but he is back, and Ryan says, I don't like that. I want that spot back, but gives it to the 72 off of turn 2. As the 27 makes quick work of the 52, so drop the 52 back to the 5th spot now. As Alex has his sights set on our race leader of Wyatt Mickelson. Can Mickelson win again this season? Stay tuned. We are less than 60 laps to go for this one here. As it has turned into a glorious sunny and clear sky morning here. The top 4 all within striking distance of one another. As right now that battle is going to be for this 3rd spot. Holler has it, but Gomez wants it. Gomez with a big run down the backstretch looking on the inside. He's gonna make it stick going into 3. Holler gives him that spot, says you can have it. You are faster than me at this point. Holler's gonna try to use the draft and get back around him. But no, the 27 is just a little bit quicker this time. Now the 27 is going to set his sights on the back bumper of that 72 Mustang sitting in front of him as the 72 is looking to track down our race leader. 0.2 of a second separating our race lead. 2 tenths and holding thus far for our race lead as they have checked out a good second over our third place driver. All right, now Alex is looking strong. A tenth of a second, just 2 car lengths separate our race leaders. Now Wyatt Mickelson just brings that lead back up to almost 4 tenths of a second as the 27 of Dylan Gonez has found something now. That Mustang is back on rails and he is slowly starting to etch that deficit for the race lead down. Whose race is this? It is anybody's guess right now. The early morning haze is setting in here, and that's got to be a little disorienting for our drivers here. As 3 and 4 are in the shadows now, 1 and 2 are in the sunlight. So the track state has changed once again. So who has the balance of their car set up just right and whose driving style will prevail? And right now it does look like that 61 car is the car to beat at this point. As we have reached our 50 to go here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway this time by. With that said, we will give our sponsors hopefully one final shout out. HMS, thank you for proudly sponsoring us. If you need any of your propane or natural gas appliance needs, please go hit up Sam Hardy over at HMS. Thank you, Sam. All of us over at Outcast Motorsports, thank you for tuning in week and week out. And once again, Hardy Setup Shop for making all of our setup needs possible. Like I said earlier, if you need any of setups for any car, go head over and give the Hardy Setup team a shout out and we will get you the best possible deal we can get. Once again, the name says it all. Thanks for tuning in week and week out. And last but not least, thanks to our partners over at iRacing for making all of this possible. As the race leader has pulled away ever so slightly with equal distance between first to second. A second is the third. A second and a half separate our top 3 drivers. As we have under 50 to go. Will we see another caution? Will we see a change for the race lead? Battle for the third spot is heating up between the 60 and the 52 car. The 52 has found something right now and is slowly starting to close in on the back bumper of our fourth place runner. We will see if that changes hands before we hit the checkered flag. And rounding out our lead lap drivers is James Jones sitting in that sixth and final lead lap position. Now the race lead has grown between the 72 and the 61 is almost a second. What does either the 27 or the 61 have for Wyatt? Or is the 61 just on a Sunday drive and is he our favorite to win? Stay tuned. Long green flag run. Looks like this is how this is gonna end this morning. As now there's a full second between first and second, and just as much between second and third. These drivers can make it on fuel if they so choose to. And depending on how many tires you decided to take, you could potentially have one set to go, or you could just take two tires. So stick around and find out if fuel strategy is going to make the call of the race. You'll find out. I'm hoping we go green to the checkered flag and we can see some good heads up racing. But we will see as we get into the final stages here. At this point, this many laps in, you're just hoping and praying that checkered flag is right around the corner. Because I'll tell you firsthand, these drivers are going to be exhausted. As we see all the rubber and dirt on the front of that HendrickCars.com Chevy. How dirty these cars have become with how many laps the rubber is laid down on the front of that car. And the race lead hovering right around a second. Does Alex have anything for Wyatt? It's Wyatt's race to lose at this point. He's been very, very, very good all race long. Shout out to everybody still watching. Thank you so much. I know this race has gone on for a very long time. Hang in there. We are almost done. 40 more circuits here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Will go by very quickly if we stay green. As Alex has found something and has cut 2/10 off since the last time we paid attention to that leaderboard. He's definitely stronger in 1 and 2, but Wyatt pulls 3 and 4 through the front stretch. As Alex is now running that high line, not quite as high as we saw that 52 early on in this race, but still very high on this racetrack compared to where that 61 is running, as this track has rubbered in very nicely through the duration of this race. As we see that race lead now stretch back up over a second. Now as the second place driver, you gotta search for grip. I know the tires are going out as we see heavy contact for the 72 against the backstretch wall. He's gonna lose 2/10 of a second from that. And if you ask what 2/10 of a second is, it's about 4 car lengths. So he's slowly watching our race leader slowly disappear from that front windshield. And all by his lonesome in sole position of this third place right now. 2 seconds behind our second place driver is the 27, like I said, of Dylan Gonez making his debut. The only battle we have right now that is brewing is for this fourth position, as that 52 is starting to turn up the wick. It's starting to put the heat on. As as we see the 72 make the 27 decide to make his way on the pit road, following the 72 car. Like I said, you could make it as we see the 27 overshoot his pit stop. The right sides are going up on the 72 car, right side's up on the 27. Down around the other side of the car, jacking up that left side. Field, 4 tires in field for both of these drivers. So pit strategy is going to be happening as we said that. As Wyatt stays on track for this battle for second. Now for second, rage is on between the 52 and the 60 car. Question is, now that Alex pitted, how long does Wyatt decide to stay on track as our race leader? And when do the second and third place drivers decide to pit for what should be their final green flag pit stop of the now morning? As our race leader is still ticking off laps. Now we finally see the 27 decide as the 27 is going to lose a lap. A long extended stay for him on pit road. Unfortunate for him as James Jones will take over fourth. As Alex will be fifth, so he's almost a full lap behind our fourth place runner of Jones. Alex running fifth. As our second and third place still stay on track. We'll see how long our first, second, and third place drivers. As Alex with fresh tires is gonna show how much faster the pace is. As we have 30 circuits around this mile-and-a-half speedway. Bore fresh tires on that 72 car are gonna propel him around both second and third. Now, if you're these drivers, do you bring it onto pit road now or do you wait? And how long, as our race leader, do you make these tires last? He's going to stretch as long as he can. And the question is, who's going to come out on top? He loses about 23 seconds going down pit road. So you lose about 30 seconds on pit road between your pit cycle, your pit stop, and the time it takes to go down road. So it's going to be a tight battle for the race lead when it does cycle around. And if I'm not mistaken, it should put Alex into the second spot as he is just bringing the heat, closing rapidly as you see that ticker just ticking down. He is eating up the track and he is going to be here before we know it. As our second place driver, as Alex goes into the fourth position, tracking down our third place driver of Jones. As our race leader now decides to drop it on the pit road, this is going to be tight. We're going to keep watch on this. This should be 4 tires in field. And there's the 72 car going by. 27. These guys are all going to be. Now is going to be the battle. Where does. That's going to give the race lead over to James Jones. For the moment now, where can Alex cycle out? And there comes Alex. Let's see where this 61 can go. There's the 61 right now. This is gonna be tight as we see the 72 car fly by the 61 car for second. And that is gonna be your race lead once James Jones decides to bring that 76 Chevrolet down to the attention of his crew as we have 24 circuits around this speedway left. As we see the sun going higher and higher in the sky, this track is changing ever so much as there's Ryan Howler 3 wide. Ooh, they make it work. And that is for position between these three drivers, which would be third, fourth, and fifth once James Jones decides to pit. As we see the gap between Wyatt and the 76 car within a second, and yes, a couple lap different tires can make a world of difference. With 23 circuits remaining here, this is going to be the battle for your race lead. At this point, I did not think that 61 would be able to close this much down here on the 72, but he is there right on his back bumper within 3, 4 car lengths. Make that 2.5 car lengths off the back bumper of our 72 car. Just this, like I said, this will be the battle for the race lead as soon as that 76 car of Jones decides to pit. And folks, the 72 car has been strong, but that 61 is on it as he's going to block everything he can do. Try not to let that 61 get around him. That 72 car looking high, wide, and handsome on the outside of turn 4. Does not make it stick. Almost come together. The 72 pulling the 61 backs side by side for second. The 61 just good drive through the middle of 1 and 2 and just set sail down the back straightaway. Now is Alex, what do you do? As you watch that 61 drive out in front of you as we see Frank Skimmerhorn make his final pit stop of the race, bringing that Chevrolet down to the attention of his crew. As it does look now like Jones decided to bring that 76 car onto pit road. Our race leader brings that Chevrolet down to pit road. And like I said, this is going to cycle these two to our race lead. As Wyatt retakes over the race lead as he is setting sail from that 72 of Alex. So we have under 20 to go, 18 next time by. Is there anything Alex can do at this point? I just don't know. That 61 has been strong all race long. As Alex is just watching him sail away, has to be the most disheartening feeling as you saw how big of a lead he got when they merged back on track. And the fact that the 61 is basically made up almost 2 seconds as we see the 76 car unfortunately going to go a lap down to our race leaders. Unfortunate as Alex is just has nothing for the 61 car over a second, and I don't know, the officials might have to check because it does look like that 61 has nitrous or something in that car because he is just bad fast. We'll see if he passes post-race tech inspection. No, but good race thus far for everybody, and the 61 is just set sail and is gone. There would have to be a caution, God forbid it from happening, but that is the only way to bring that 72 Mustang to battle that HendrickCars.com 61 Chevrolet for this race lead. Is that race lead is now almost up to 2 seconds. That's a hard ground to make up with under 15 to go here from the world's center of racing. I guess that's Daytona. I apologize. Don't make fun of me. It's a long race. I'm tired. As we see the 61 just gets disconnected. Oh no! The 61. What happened to this Wyatt Mickelson? He had this in the bag, and that will give the race lead over to Alex. I'm a turn of events, everybody. That will get Brantley will go up to second. Ryan Holler will go to third. Jones will go to fourth. Wyatt Mickelson will fall to fifth. As Dylan will goes down to sixth. Wyatt, who looked like he had this in the bag, just disconnected. And Alex is gonna be so pumped that he won, but not like that. As Wyatt continues to plummet. Unfortunate for him. That I hate to see that happen. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. But man, this close to the finish, that's just. He was. I guarantee he's gonna wish that all those cautions never happened because this race would have been over and he'd been long gone. As Alex is just on a Sunday drive right now with over a 10-second lead. A huge shakeup and unfortunate for Wyatt. Uh, Man, that's heartbreaking. The dominant car, and all of a sudden, just poof, he just disappears. And unfortunately for him, he's not going to get the race result that he wanted to happen. And this will be Alex's race to lose. At this point, he can just kind of idle it by, back up his entries and give up time as nobody's going to catch him unless something catastrophic happens. And I don't want to jinx it, but we did see that happen with the 61. Something catastrophic happened where he decided disconnected for whatever reason, and unfortunate for him. Um, but yeah, no, the 72 now just on a Sunday drive, 10 seconds ahead of our second place driver. And another 15 back to Ryan Holler, and another almost 22 seconds to our fourth place driver of James Jones. As Frank Skimmerhorn is going to be up to our fourth position today into six. So congratulations to Frank Skimmerhorn, up four to P6 right now. And that it looks like that's where Frank Skimmerhorn is going to run. And if all shakes out, Frank Skimmerhorn is going to win your Hard Charger of the Week award. If nothing else catastrophic happens, but here's to hoping it doesn't. As we see, we're going to get 8 to go this time by. What a turn of event, folks. I am speechless. I still can't believe what happened as we see the afternoon sun now making an appearance here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. This whole track is now under the heat of the day. With 8 to go, this track is at the worst that these drivers have seen in quite some time. As Alex is just laps away from winning yet again another Southern Setup Shop's victory here at Charlotte, which has gone from nighttime to the new day here in the sim. What dramatic events we had as we see the billboard casting the shadows in three and entrance of three. And this is definitely going to shake up the points a lot with that mysterious disconnection from Wyatt. Had no issues all race long. Feels so bad for that young man. Uh, that was unfortunately who I had picked from the start to win it, but uh, just wasn't meant to be. As we see the 52, wow, 52 got into the wall hard, or the 70, 27 was in front of the 52, and the 52 got into the wall hard, and that will open up our race lead. A little significant damage to the right side of that Chevrolet. Ryan Holler looking good in third. He's going to try to go up there and take second away in the closing 6 laps of this race if he can. From our race lead, as Jones will finish fourth, and Jones is on the cutting block to go a lap down. Our race leader is right behind him. As Alex has just set this car to cruise control and is listening to Dolly Parton, probably. Just got it cranked to 10. Or, better yet, Rascal Flax. Life is a highway, because right now he can just put that pedal on cruise control and just. He could give up 4 seconds a lap and still not lose the race lead if he wanted to. But he's going to push until the checkered flag waves here. So we got 4 to go. 3 this time by. As the battle is going to be for this second spot. The 60 is closing down on the back bumper of our 52 car. Can he run him down? He's 6/10 of a second and closing with 3 to go, folks. The battle for second is where we are watching. Does Ryan have anything in the tank as that 52 car is struggling for grip? Two to go as our race leader crosses the line. 2/10 of a second for second. Ryan's searching for grip. He's going to go high 1 and 2. Try to get that run on the high side of 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. He's got the run. Battle for second, hot and heavy, as there is no gap between him as the 60 looks down on the inside of the 52 car. The 52 is going to pinch him low. Ryan's going to say no. He's going to run him up high on the exit. No, Ryan stays low, but Ryan has the advantage as the 52 tries to drag him back. As we got the white flag, 1 to go. This is the race that we are going to watch who finishes on the second step of the podium, as it looks like Ryan is going to take that second spot, as Alex is your race leader. The 72 Cheesecake Ford Mustang takes victory here in race 10 of the Southern Setup Shop Cup Series, followed by the 60 of Ryan Holler, the 52 of Brantley, and rounding out fourth is James Jones, and your top 5 for his debut is Dylan Gones in that 27 car. So congratulations to him and his debut, and the old man of the bunch, Frank Skimmerhorn. Huge shout out, he wins the hard charger award, and as Alex burns the tires down in what was a chaotic and drama-filled race that did go from night to daytime here. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to pull up these drivers for a very quick interview here momentarily. As we're going to pull our third place finisher in here. Give me 1 second. We'll pull our third place finisher of Brantley in to the booth. All right, we are gonna pull Brantley in. Brantley, congratulations on a third place.
Yeah. Right front was a little broke. Um, After me and Dylan got together coming out too. He got a little tight, and if you're behind somebody, it tightens you up as well. So we were both tight going up the track, and just had nowhere to go, and hit my right front and broke that. So I was driving with I'd say maybe like about 2 o'clock going down the straightaway. And just over time, that just Ryan ended up catching me and getting by me. Felt like I had a fast car all night. It's just bad decisions, a terrible restart, and some tire strategy that I thought was going to work, and obviously it didn't.
Absolutely, and we saw that, nighttime into daytime. So how did that, when the sun started to, come up, did that change the dynamic of the track? And how bad was the sun?
Somewhat bad for me. It felt like the track was a little more hot, so it actually felt like it freed the car up a little bit, made it a little bit faster. Made tires not as much needed as what I thought it was. Um, just if if I could take this one back and start all over, I'd do a little something different. But just try to throw some dice out, and didn't hit 7 or 11. I hit Snake Eyes instead. So
Well, you still came home with a third, so you can't beat yourself up too much for that.
yeah, just trying to close in the gap since I started a little later than everybody else and didn't make the first couple of races. So just trying to get good points nights and try and catch up and see what I can do at the end. Thanks for everybody on the car, OG Gear, One of Goons, uh, everybody for coming out racing, you for broadcasting this, and so we'll do next week at Bumpy Rockingham, and hopefully I don't wreck it.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing if you can bounce back. And I have to ask, was it a Gordon inspired paint scheme or a Byron throwback?
So this week is our last week in another league I'm in. And it's at Phoenix. So the team I'm on, we decided that we're all gonna be different playoff drivers that we're in the champ for. So I got Byron. Then we got two people is in two Toyotas is Dean Hamlin and Briscoe, and then we got somebody else in a Larson scheme. So we all kind of got that together and decided, hey, I mean it's just four of us, so it works out.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the third place, and look forward to seeing what, like you said, Bumpy and Rocky, Rockingham has. So, congratulations. We'll see you next week, brother.
Yeah, you said bounce back, and I'll probably be bouncing back right into the wall. So we'll see.
Absolutely. And we'll bring in our second place finisher, Mr. Ryan Howler in that buildsubmarines.com Ford Mustang. Congratulations, sir.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks. Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting to finish where I did tonight, considering after that green flag pit stop, Wyatt had a pretty firm control of the lead, and I don't know, 2 weeks in a row, just things just don't work out for him, unfortunately. So I feel bad for him, and I also want to apologize to Dustin. I had a pit road incident with him. That was my fault. Didn't mean to do that. But yeah, overall, decent night.
Yeah, no, you look strong at certain parts, and I asked Brantley um, about how, going into nighttime into the daytime, how much adjusting did you have to do from the cockpit to, get the car right?
I just drove the car the same way the whole race. I would run it through the bottom for the first, I don't know, 15, 20 laps, and then if I felt like I still had enough good tire wear, I'd try to run the top. But I will say at the end there, the top wasn't running well at all, so I just tried to stay on the bottom. And I know Brantley had a little mistake at the end there, so it was nice to just kind of just keep being consistent and just get by him on the last couple laps in a clean way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, good good run for you, and way to, represent that 60 team in the buildsubmarines.com. Uh, so congratulations to you, and Rockingham next week. How do you feel?
Rockingham's not one of my best tracks. I'm not really good at tracks that are under a mile and a half. I'm usually better at these bigger speedway type tracks. But yeah, just gonna show up and just try to have fun. That's usually what I do, and just try to see how things pan out. Usually, if I try to practice too much, that's when I start making mistakes and stuff like that. So, just hoping for a good run next week, and maybe Wyatt, my teammate, can get a good break too. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. I don't know if he got disconnected or what, but he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
So
internet issues plagued him this week, and then last week I got caught up with I can't remember who late, so it's just 2 weeks in a row he had a win that got stolen from him in some weird way.
unfortunate for you guys, but I know you guys will bounce back. You guys are always fun to watch, and congratulations on that second place finish, and this should be a good boost to your points.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it, and yeah, definitely was a fun race, and really appreciate everybody for coming out and putting on the league, and you doing the broadcast, and I feels like we're starting to grow as a league now. So as we get more people in here, races should get even more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it, and I couldn't say it any better. And I know it was a long afternoon and evening for you. You got to be tired, and so we'll let you go and ice some shoulders.
Yeah, I definitely I gotta get up for work at 6, so I'm definitely gonna get to bed. So I just want to say thanks everybody, and I'll see everybody next week.
Absolutely, and that is our second place finisher, Ryan Howler. And now for our race winner. Well, hey Cheesecake, how's it going?
Hi, Justin. It's it's
Uh,
it's going pretty good. First and foremost, sorry, Wyatt. I guess your internet just hates you today.
I, yeah, that was
I don't know.
I wanted to ask you about that. I know that's not the way you want to win. Um, but talk to me about what went through your mind because you had a good 2 seconds on him off that final pit road sequence, and then he just drove around you. I mean, what was that like to watch him just kind of go into the sunrise?
Um, I don't really know how to describe it. It was I had to do something to try and get off strategy because I was just behind him and just losing time. I tried getting by him on my new tires on the restart, but it didn't work. Dirty air was just so powerful. I used the dirty air so much today, and then I got it used against me there. Um, but I was perfectly happy accepting a second place finish or a third or whatever would have happened in a restart. And then I was just going into the corner, and then I saw one of them disappear, and I looked up and it was Wyatt. I was like, "Oh my god!" It's the second time that's ever happened to me. The first time it happened to me was when I was racing touring cars at Watkins Glen. The guy in front was like a 7K rating guy, and he was like 20 seconds in front of the field, and then he disconnected on the last lap. So I don't know. I guess I was lucky today.
Yeah, absolutely. And God, man, that was one heck of a race. I mean, talk a little bit about because I know from the broadcast point of view, it was a little bit weird seeing the sun start to rise. Um, I've only experienced
Yeah.
that in the 24. So how was that kind of different? Like, did the track change at all, if any? And like, how bad was the sun as the sun was coming up?
Oh, absolutely. The track changed so much. It went from being like it got tighter over a run, and then I don't really know. It got like it just the car didn't feel the same. I don't know really how to describe it. Other than my car got worse, and I think Wyatt's car got a lot better. Um, because we were in VC, we were even saying that if it had went like if it was a normal race, um, without the time, like the time change being so weird, it would have been either me or Dylan for the win. But yeah, about with 50 to go, we were under caution. I was like, "Hey guys, the sun's rising." I've never seen that before on iRacing. It was insane. But yeah, it
it's
was crazy.
it's totally different. Like I said, I've only experienced that in the 24 a couple of years back, and man, there's I don't know what it is. There's just something about that morning dew and sunset coming, like sunrise coming up, that it makes it look completely different, and it gives it a totally different like atmosphere.
Yeah, it's not like the same as a sunrise because for the sunrise you still have a little bit of that like the just the brightness, but then going from darkness to brightness is crazy, and the way it affects the track completely differently. Like it's crazy.
Uh, Man. Well, I know you don't want to win that way, but what is this, your
Yes, third
win?
win of the season.
All right, so this should shake up the points quite a bit, and halfway in the
Yep.
season, you're looking strong. You've always been a contender, and I know next week's Rockingham. I know you struggle at those style tracks.
I wouldn't say I necessarily struggle. I've just never raced it before. I'm gonna have to get some practice laps in. I don't know if you were gonna have me thank anybody, but I do want to
Go
thank
ahead.
my wonderful girlfriend Sarah for watching the stream.
I did happen to see that there was a name over the door panel.
Yes, that is her name.
Hmm. Well, huge shout out to her. She was a huge part of the comments in the live stream, so
Yes, she
shout out to
was.
her. Um, Always thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season, Alex. You're always one heck of a guy to watch, and always fun to see you carve through the field. And like I said, unfortunately, unfortunately what happened to Wyatt, but then again, this can happen to any of us, and you
Yep.
uh, you came out on the bitter end of that one, so I'll give it to you this week, and congratulations, and we will see what you can do at Rockingham.
Thank you, man.
Alrighty, go enjoy. All right, folks, and that will do it here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Huge shout out to everybody watching. Thank you for making all this possible. For all of our partners, thanks every day for making this possible. And we will see you again next week as this series